Welcome to this presentation. We are going to handle Nubia civilization, and we are going to handle four aspects. Number one, Nubia's relationship with Egypt, that is rivalry and cooperation. Number two, we are going to handle Nubian kings and the 25th dynasty of Egypt. The third one that we are going to handle is cultural identity and artistic achievements. Then number four is Nubia's role in Africa trade routes. So members who are going to present this are number one, I, Brian Uchieng. Number two, Heston Kemboi. Number three, Zabulon Omwamba. And number four, Adero Frederick. So welcome to this presentation as we go together. Now, the civilization of Nubia, that is also known as Kush, was one of the earliest civilizations in ancient Africa, located south of Egypt, along the Nile River in present-day northern Sudan, and South Egypt. Nubia developed powerful kingdoms that influenced African and Mediterranean history. Although often overshadowed by Egypt, Nubia had a rich cultural identity, strong political structures, and played a vital role in trade and regional power dynamics. So the first aspect, that is Nubia's relationship with ancient Egypt, that is the rivalry and cooperation. Nubia and ancient Egypt shared a long and complex relationship that included both conflict and cooperation. Because both civilizations depended on the River Nile, they interacted frequently through trade, diplomacy, and war. At times, Egypt conquered parts of Nubia, especially during the Middle and New Kingdoms, that is 2000 to 1100 BC. The Egyptians were interested in Nubia's rich natural resources, such as gold, ivory, ebony, and slaves. Egypt built 4 ports in Nubian territory to control trade routes and protect its southern border. However, the relationship was not only hostile. There were periods of peaceful trade and cultural exchange. Nubians adopted certain Egyptian religious practice, writing systems, and artistic styles. At the same time, Nubia maintained its independence and later grew powerful enough to conquer Egypt itself. Allow me to invite the second presenter that will proceed with us to the second aspect, that is the Nubian kings and the 25th dynasty of Egypt. Thank you. Will be Heston Kemboi.
One of the greatest achievements of the Nubian civilization was the establishment of the 25th dynasty of Egypt in 747 to 656 BC. During this period, Nubian rules from the kingdom of Kush controlled Egypt. The 25th dynasty represents a unique and historical reversal where the former colony Nubia became the imperial ruler of its former master, Egypt. This emerged from the holy mountain of the Jebel Barakal, the Kushite kings, often called the Black Pharaohs, that they united the Nile Valley from the shores of the Mediterranean to the confluence of the blue white Niles. Famous king of the 25th dynasty, this include the Pie or the Bianchi. The Bianchi was a visionary conqueror who launched a holy war to purify Egypt at around 747 BC from petty warlords. His victory stela is one of the most detailed military records in ancient history, highlighting his preference for diplomacy over a slaughter and his deep devotion to the god Amun. The second king was Shabaka. He consolidated Nubian rule over all of Egypt and moved the capital to Memphis. He is famous for the Shabaka stone, a basalt slab where he ordered the preservation of ancient Egypt theological texts that were rotting away. signaling the Nubian role as the restorers of tradition. Taharka was the most famous of the Nubian pharaohs mentioned even in the Hebrew Bible. His reign was a golden age of building. He erected massive columns at Karnak and constructed the largest pyramid in the Nubian royal cemetery at Nuri. He spent much of his reign in a superpower struggle against the invading Neo-Syrian Empire. These kings respected the Egypt tradition and restored temples and religious practices. They were sometimes called the Black Pharaohs because their rule strengthened both Egypt politically and religiously until the Assyrian invaded under their control in 656 BC. A revival of ancient tradition. Unlike other foreign invaders, like the Hyksos or later the Persians, the Nubian kings did not seek to Nubianize Egypt. Instead, they saw themselves as the true guardians of Egypt culture. One of the following was one of them, the archaism. They revived old kingdom artist styles, pyramid buildings, and religious rituals that Egyptians themselves had begun to neglect. Religious legitimacy. By claiming to be true sons of Amun, they gained the support of the powerful priesthood in Thebes, effectively ruling the divine right. Double Uraeus. The royal crown of this dynasty uniquely featured two cobras, Aurael instead of one, symbolizing their dual sovereignty over both Kush and Egypt. The fall and the retreat. The dynasty eventually collapsed under the sheer military weight of the Assyrian Empire, who possessed superior iron weaponry and sacked the city of Thebes in 663 BC. The Nubian kings retreated south of the first cataract, where they shifted their capital to Meroe. While they lost the Egyptian throne, their culture remained pharaonic in spirit for another 1,000 years, long after the Egypt itself had fallen to the Greek Romans. In conclusion, cultural identity and artistic achievement. Despite the influence that Nubian developed a strong, distinct cultural identity, its major centers included Kerma, Nafata, and later Meroe. The king of Kush built impressive pyramids, especially at Meroe. These pyramids were the smallest but steeper than the Egyptian ones, showing a unique architectural style. The Nubian art combined Egypt elements with African tradition, particularly in sculpture, pottery, and jewelry. Religion was central to Nubia life and worship the Egyptian gods like Amun, but also had local deities. And over time, Nubia developed its own writing system as a Meroitic script, further demonstrating cultural independence. Now, at this juncture, I would like to welcome my fellow to continue with point number 4, that is the Nubia's role in African trades, Mr. Sablon Omwamba. Thank you so much.
This juncture allow me to go through Nubia's role in African trade routes, whereby we see Nubia played a crucial role in African trade networks. Because of its location along the Nile and near the Red Sea, it acted as a bridge between Central Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, Egypt, and the Mediterranean world. which means that it led to the development lull in trade, of which became much successive. When we come to other point is that Nubia exported the gold, iron, ivory, and animal skins in innocence and exotic golds. The city of Meroe became especially famous for iron production, making it one of African hard industrial centers. Through these trade connections, Nubia became a wealthy and influential. It helped to connect Africa to the wider Asian world and contributed significantly to economic development in the region. So, allow me also to welcome my brother Adero Frederick to continue.
Okay, good evening. I'm Fred Adero. I'm taking you through Nubian civilization. In conclusion, the Nubian civilization stands as a statement to African resilience and cultural sophistications, proving it was far more than a mere shadow of Egypt. By blending indigenous traditions with borrowed customs, the Nubian created a unique identity characterized by their own script, a mystery of iron production, and a staggering number of pyramids that still defines the Sudanese landscape today. As the essential gateway of trade between sub-Saharan Africa and the Mediterranean, Nubian functioned as an ancient economic superpower whose influence stretched from the gold mines of the desert to the pharaohic thrones of the 25th dynasty. The legacy defined by both the Black Pharaohs who ruled Egypt and the formidable Kandaks who later challenged the Roman Empire remain a vital independent chapter in human history. Thank you very much for watching. This is group 4 and God bless you.